You don't have to be a prick if you want to be a good leader. That's my message to y'all. Hey guys, my name is Jovin. Welcome to my channel. I am 25 years old, going on to 26 this year, and I live and work in New York City. I just want to talk a bit about this topic. It's always something that gnaws at the edge of my mind, and I couldn't seem to comprehend it. Why do some people think that being a prick will make them a good leader? Because truthfully, I don't think so. What I believe that makes you a good leader is that you can be stern, you can be strict, you can adhere to your standard procedures, but you don't have to be an a-hole. Nowadays, like especially the older generation, they always refer to us as kind of the strawberry or very weak generation because we can't seem to take criticism, or we're really hurt by some things they say, or we just can't take it in general. But doesn't it make more sense that in this generation, we're more aware and in tune with our emotions to express our unhappiness or what we're willing to take from these kind of people? That translates to being very weak, which I do not agree. If you're a mean person, then you're a mean person. It's that simple. There's a really big difference between being strict and being mean about the way you teach someone. I don't exactly know how to explain it to y'all, but I feel like being strict and professional means that you're delivering your message in a concise manner, a very simplistic manner. A person who is very professional leader will never let their own personal emotions take over. I mean, I've seen this a lot. I've seen this too many times where people let their own personal biasness, people they don't like and people they like differently, more lax and lenient with people they like, and they're more particularly harsh on the people they don't like. So they could both be doing the same exact mistake, but one person they could be laughing it off, but one person they'll really like hit a nail down with you, like they'll be super mean to the person, notice your every mistake and keep calling you out. Even if it's unnecessary, they'll just find reasons to pick on you. And that is when their personal emotions are already in the workplace. Like, that's a no-go. Secondly, I feel like it's the choice of words that they use. Are they talking and communicating professionally? Like swearing all the time? Like, I really do not like, honestly. But it's a part and parcel of my industry. I do not like swearing at all. Like, why do you need to swear all the time? Unless, like, you're swearing at yourself or you're not like directing at somebody, like especially in a very heated and stressful situation, people might let appropriate language slip up. Just a little bit overused at this point. You can communicate what you want without all that extra language. I think it's a good example to follow if like we kind of grow up to be like them and also continue this cycle. Like, I honestly do not want to perform at a place where so much like verbal abuse. They're probably very junior, but it doesn't make sense to me that we're not really treated with respect, just basic respect. And sometimes it really feels the Chinese phrase that goes, 狗都不如, are lesser than a dog. You are being treated worse than a dog. If I were to be one in the future, like, I wouldn't treat people like that. The best leaders I've met are those who provide some kind of closure every time. Closure in the sense, I don't know how to phrase it, but basically they always root back to what you did wrong. So it is giving you constructive feedback. It's constructive criticism. Basically, they are scolding or reprimanding you for a reason, for a good reason, not just because of their own personal hatred or thing like that, but it's because you did something wrong and you want them to be better. People talk more in a respectable manner, and it's like something super unreasonable, and maybe they've done the mistakes a lot of times. Like, then you have the right to get really snappy and angry. But if it's their first time or first or second time, you know that phrase that goes like, one strike, two strikes, and three you're out. You know, either you should give people some credit that they're really trying their best. Hear them out before you judge. Mentors I really look up to are always very, very patient, and that is something very, I know, very extremely hard to do in a very high stress environment. But the ones that are patient, the ones who are there to listen, who are there to help, who are there to bring people up, are, I feel, the best leaders, at least for me. Like, not the ones who are there to bring you down, not the ones who don't really value add and tend to annoy people a lot. I don't really understand that, but I understand that as well because they're from another generation. Probably learn from whoever taught them that that was the best way to get results. People should also kind of adapt to the ways of how we work. All in all, it's just a job. All in all, it's just a job. A job really fills up your entire life, but it shouldn't like bring you some emotional trauma. I want to tell you guys a story of I never used to be such a chill and patient person before. I learned from all these older generation people to be a really pricky person. Yes, I used to be a prick. I used to be a person blaring out orders. I know I totally do not look like a person who could do that now, but trust me, I used to be a person who's a total prick, who's a total, like, you know, infuriating person to work with. I will be the person that will be like, if my colleague is 10 minutes late, I'll be like, why you're late? Why you're late? Like, what time is it now? You know, that kind of annoying person. But I realized that how tiring it is, how dumb I was, honestly, like, for acting like such a yeah, I was going through the cycle of being stressed, being an annoying leader to my juniors, and I don't know, one day I've just had to face this. I have to admit this for me to move on. I sat down, wrote a long message to the junior I was with. Like, I'm really sorry. I'm very, very terribly sorry. Brought you any distress into this company. This was just the way I was taught and how I behaved, like kind of replicated what my seniors taught me. So I thought this was the only and the best way for work to get done. Like, along with my seniors who were already giving him a really bad time, I was also kind of giving him a lot of bad times, extremely apologetic for my behavior, and I felt this just wasn't the person I was like before coming into a company. I was always very kind, patient with people, but just because of the stress, just because of my behavioral changes, treat someone like that. And he was also a friend at work. He was also someone I generally enjoy talking to. But when it came down to work, I just became like a different person, a really mean person, and I didn't like that. I didn't like that at all. But I thought it was like the only way I could get him to help me. I gave him some closure. I was extremely grateful for that because he was actually having like a really bad time. He knows I'm actually not like this outside. He knows it, and I'm happy that I made the time and made the effort to, just, I know it's not much, but I hope he understood and know that I really treasure him, and he is someone also that really taught me to become, like kind of indirectly taught me to become a better version of myself and not to, I would never look back. I would never ever like be a mean person again because it's not nice and it doesn't work. To give the benefit of the doubt, I think some people can actually grow a lot from it, but I feel like a lot of them also have a lot of trauma like behind it. So I don't know about that. I never want to be in a position. I mean, this happens a lot. I want to be so real with you guys. This happens a lot to a lot of friends of friends, or to even me personally. Like, all these harsh behaviors towards people can actually eat at that and cause them to do harm to themselves because of all these pent up frustrations, all these emotions that they can't express because it's an everyday thing. Work consumes you. A lot of people are always saying that don't bring your personal life into work, but do you ever think of the other way around? You prick to a person every day, but you don't really know the kind of stress they might be facing in their personal life. I never want to be in a position that to drive someone to do something that's harm themselves, like I've seen the worst, I've heard from the worst, like people actually like go gone. They couldn't like take it. They couldn't take it because their personal life is already so sufferable, and you're being mean for no reason during work. I don't feel like anyone wants to be a reason. Like, people don't care, but I think people should care more and be more self-aware of how they're being a leader to, especially all our younger people in this day of age where mental health is really important, where mental health should be something that's more talked about, shouldn't be shunned. So many people make fun of mental health, but it is really such a real thing, and it can really take a toll on people. So let's all just be better, okay? Let's do better. We should all be more mindful and aware of like other people's feelings, even if you're not a leader. Heck, if you're not even a leader, let's be more aware of other people's feelings, and let's be more kinder to each other. Open-minded in the sense that work is just work, honestly. Work is one thing, but having to deal with people who are mean, like that's just something unnecessary. And we as people, we should be kinder, more understanding to others, be more mindful of our words, and I think can build a better workplace, Like, that's all. That's all for me. And for watching my video. Hope you like these kind of videos. where I chit chat too much, but I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.